All right, Algebra 2, we're going to be doing the quiz review 474 through 77. If you're curious about the dates of everything, 7-4 is going to be on, let's see, the 7th of February. 7-5 is going to be on the 9th of February. 7-6 is on the 12th of February. And 7-7 is the 13th of February. So if you need more videos, you can go back and get help there. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and start number 1. So basically, when you come to these types of problems and it shows you the square root, or in the instance number 2, the cube roots, you basically have to break this down as best as you can into small pieces. So watch how I do number 1. Number 1 is the square root, so we're interested in perfect squares. So when I look at the number 64, I have to ask myself, is 64 a perfect square? And if the answer is yes, then we're pretty much good and ready to rock and roll. So turns out 64 is a perfect square, and so we're good. So how do I do this? My first step is I break up everything. So I put my square root of -1, I put my square root of 64, and then I do my square root of x to the 12th. Now the goal you're looking for, remember this hidden number right here is at 2. You'll take this exponent and divide this number out. If it works out perfectly, you don't have to split the x apart. If it doesn't work out perfectly, you got to deal with remainders. So let's go ahead and evaluate all these. The square root of -1 is I. The square root of 64 is 8. And then how I evaluate this, I go 12 divided by 2, which is 6. And now I can shove this back together. I put my number first, I put the I second, and then I go x to the 6th. For those who don't remember, if you have a power that is, let me get it right there, an odd power, what do I mean by that? Like a cube root of -1. It's going to come out to -1. But if you have the square root of -1, it's going to come out to I. So the even powers will give you I. The odd powers will give you -1. So make sure you have that down. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 2. All right, I'm going to switch ink here so we don't confuse ourselves. Now, on number 2, we're dealing with cube root. The first one was square root. This one is cube root. So you can look at the 16 and say, is 16 a perfect cube? It is not. So you need to go over here and generate your cube list. Go over here and generate your cube list. It shouldn't take very long. 2 cubed is 8. And then, believe it or not, those are 3s. Wow, let me undo those real quick. Hold on. 2 to the 3rd is 8. And then 3 to the 3 is 27. Now, once you get bigger than the number, and 27 is bigger than the number, you can stop doing this. Does 8 go into 16? The answer is yes. So watch how I break this apart. I'm going to do the cube root of 8. Times, and what's left over, 16 divided by 8 is 2. Cube root of 2 times, now pay attention to this, cube root of x to the 9 times cube root of x squared. And if you're wondering why I did that, I've taught this multiple times over and over and over again, but the first thing I'm going to have you do is look, 9 plus 2 is 11. So you can see that my x's are still there. They're added up with each other. They're there. But why did I split it up into 9? Because 9 is the biggest number that is divisible by 3. And what's the remainder? 2. So cube root of 8 is 2. Cube root of 2 does not break down. This number, 9, divided by this number, 3, gives you x to the 3rd. And then this one, the cube root of x squared, does not break down. When this number is smaller than this number, it does not break down anymore. So you have cube root of x squared. Now we put it all together on the last line. We get our house going. It's a cube root for our house. What's inside our house? We have a 2 on the inside. We have an x squared. And then on the outside, we have a 2x cubed. 2x cubed. And so, yeah, you need to know that process to get these ones solved. I'm going to do the other videos, or the other problems in the other videos.